Okay, so I am a little behind the times. However, the summer movie season did start a couple weeks ago, and it was kicked off with Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, not Spider-Man 2 like I said earlier, one of the greatest comic book movies ever made, just saying. Alright, so The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the sequel to The Amazing Spider-Man, which came out in 2012, which I wasn't really a big fan of. I really liked the first two Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 3 was kind of okay, but The Amazing Spider-Man, just the whole script and all of it was kind of just jumbled up. It was kind of on par with Spider-Man 3 for me, maybe a little bit better than Spider-Man 3. But anyways, now we're at The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it stars Spider-Man, played by Andrew Garfield. He's battling Electro. And honestly, I didn't really like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. This one, I liked him a little bit more. I think part of it also is just that his suit is not as dark as it was in the first movie. And so when he's cracking these jokes and everything, it feels like it fits more of the tone that they were going for with Spider-Man. So yeah, I think he's a great Spider-Man. Peter Parker, I still don't like him as Peter Parker. You know, he's a little too hip, a little too trendy. The Peter Parker that I see when I think of like movie Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire. You know, he's this really quiet, awkward nerd. He kind of keeps to himself. He doesn't say a whole lot. Yet he's still destined for greatness, and you can tell that he wants to do something greater. With Andrew Garfield, he has that stutter and he talks really quietly. To me, when he talks, it kind of just sounds like this. You know, Gwen, there's just something I really need to tell you. It's just not coming to me, and I'm just kind of like, and I'm kind of just that, and I'm and it's just really hard to say this thing right now. It's just not as fun to watch as I thought Tobey Maguire was. All over, I did enjoy this movie a little bit more than The Amazing Spider-Man. Do I still think it's a good movie? Not really. I did like the additions of Dane DeHaan and Jamie Foxx as Electro and Harry Osborn. I think the Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker dynamic in this movie was still really good. Their chemistry is great. I like Andrew Garfield a lot more when he's in scenes with Emma Stone. However, one of the biggest problems that this movie encounters is the same thing that Spider-Man 3 had, and that there's just too many villains. I think that really all boils down to that, you know, Sony is trying to set up this giant universe like Marvel has. So they're gearing up for their Sinister Six movies, so they're like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have Electro in the movie? Cool. You're also gonna have Rhino and Green Goblin in the movie. And they did the same thing with Sam Raimi and Spider-Man 3, which is why a lot of people hated Spider-Man 3. Sam Raimi was not gonna include Venom into Spider-Man 3, and then the studio made him push him in at the last point, which is why Venom came off as really forced into the movie, because he was. Same thing in this movie. I kid you not, the Rhino and the Green Goblin had as much screen time combined as Venom did in Spider-Man 3. It really comes across as, okay, we need to set up for the Sinister Six movie, so we're gonna put these two in the movie. And especially like the biggest enemy in Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, just being pushed to the side like that, it didn't fly with me. I have to say that the movie does look really cool. I really like the look of Electro and the Green Goblin. Like I said, I like the Spider-Man suit better in this movie than I did in the last one. But I think overall the movie really suffers from, one, the marketing kind of gave everything away. And also just Sony's handling in it just really made for a really poor script. And I still don't really like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker. It's a fun one-time watch, I guess, but it's nothing special. You don't have to rush out and go see it. So I'm gonna give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a C+. I think, you know, if you do end up going to see it with friends, you could enjoy it. But I have the Spider-Man 1 and 2 Blu-ray sitting on my shelf over there, and so if I really wanted to watch a Spider-Man movie, I could stay at home and watch that. So I'll ask you guys this: who is your favorite Spider-Man villain? Whoever that may be, comment down below with your answer. And thanks for watching this video. If you guys like it, then click on the subscribe button to see more.